Copter.
Yeah, we put little tiny floats in the water so the cameraman knew where the ships were going to go, because otherwise he didn't even, there was nothing there.
Right.
To have anything to frame up on.
It was really helpful to have the helicopter pilot, the aerial director, to see the shots that we devised on our animatics and kind of do these flight paths right there. So they can look at the shot we have devised and figure out how they're going to fly their helicopter, how low they can get it.
Yeah, we took the animatics up into the aircraft, and we would show it to them. If we weren't getting it, we could look at it right there on a little camcorder, which was great.
One of the unique things about this, this explosion right there coming around, that was a real explosion that we shot down in Mexico. Eric had shot that after we were there for 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, we shot a bunch of explosions.
And I kept saying, God, that explosion looks so 3D. And it's because we were actually flying by a real explosion there, and then they added it in. Here's one of the early shots we did in the animatics of one of the planes slapping down on top of the deck. Now this is shot at the USS Texas. Stuntman's jumping right towards us. We were able to put up these live explosions. Here, this is the typical stuntman dying thing. Just take a look. This is what they do. They give you that little extra added touch. Right here, the guy in the white, boom, dead, and oh, yeah, there you go. But it was actually great to work on the USS Texas, to see the deep blue and just to get the tones of the deep blue here that we were able to put on a lot of the other ships, because it photographs so dark, but it's also got a reflective sheen to it. So by being on one of the real ships, I would again give ILM more grief and saying, no, I remember shooting on the USS Texas, those sheens were... And there you go, some of the pieces breaking up. Now this part of the shot I think is amazing. I always had problems with the first part of the shot because I felt it was too CG right here. I think from the front of the prop where it doesn't have that gleam that's moving around on the cowling.
The plane coming in. Yeah.
But this here I think is phenomenal. I love the way the shards ripped up. There's the jagged pieces, and that was all from that huge amount of cutting up they did of the planes and when they constructed these planes. Here we've got Josh and Ben diving in front of a real hangar right here. We couldn't really blow up the real hangar, so we built a model right there.
That was a camera shadow on Josh's face, if you remember.
Was it? Yes, because we're having some sun problems. Tom Sizemore he wanted me to finish the shot because it was his last day. Here's an aerial shot of...
this is of the tank in Baja.
Yeah. It's a wild shot. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I shot this with my camcorder.
I guess you must have had a lot of free time, didn't you?
Yeah, I was
around. I didn't get to take a luxury cruise around around Baja. I was actually down there working.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
You see, that's why your name is above the title, and mine's way down. I was scouting our element shoot. If you want to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, this tank to shoot here was really an amazing place to work. The whole conception of the tank is really a brilliant idea. And then they work through a lot of how to get around the tank by building this bridge system that you can literally, it's on floats, and two guys can kind of walk a bridge section that's a 15-foot by 15-foot section, and it's on floaties, and then they mount it with steel rods. It takes you about 10 minutes to make a bridge, to make a camera platform right out to wherever you want to shoot. This is one of those gigantic construction cranes you see in buildings, and we have a space cam thing in here where a guy is actually on the ground right back there by those tents. He's actually moving this crane, skillful crane operator actually, do these compound moves.
If you look at what we started with versus the end shot, I think you can really see what all the waiting was about.
We worked on this shot so long. How many months?
So about 4 months, and used every trick that we developed for the movie. We couldn't put any stunt guys on the ship because of the explosion?
We couldn't, yeah, because it was too dangerous of an explosion. But as you'll notice, here is a guy who's a digital guy.
That's
right
right.
There sliding in the front of the nose, who does that little backflip thing. I actually never liked that.
The guy who went
but
through
I
just...
figured we were running late, and the computer animator who did that guy, I guess, was quite fond of him.
That.
And
no, you remember what was there? The stuntman slid through uninterrupted, sort of like a happy guy on a slide.
Yeah, you're right.
That was it.
So that was a computer animated guy.
Just at the end where he hits the...
And some of these guys are real stuntmen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably about 20 real stuntmen that have been cut out of other pieces of film and put in there. This was a shot that we had to basically create the world that we were working in from stills.
Right.
And so I think David Knoll took some stills from a helicopter.
And they only had like a day and a half, I think, to shoot this part of the movie. I mean, this studying a lot of the combat stuff that we were able to dig up, just to see how things would rip and catch, the wing would catch and rip, and things would kind of go off kilter. What I like is getting visceral with the camera and shaking it and feeling like we're just missing that plane, and the audience is getting involved with that thing coming over us. It makes it much more believable.
Mm-hmm. More exciting. It's basically stuff you couldn't film for real and survive.
This took us a while to get right. Quite a while.
Quite a while.
The Battle of Britain was a lot tougher than...
It was. I think because we didn't really focus on it until near the end, and then we had to actually come up with something good. These are the guys building the models.
Oh, that thing that we paid so much for, right? Too much for.
I think it turned out to be a bargain by the end of it,
you know,
as I
mean,
recall.
it's like, I don't know if it was a bargain. This is towards the end of the production. Now, this section was shot in Vegas, and they kept getting rained out.
Yeah, we built this. We built all the models in Northern California at ILM, and because we needed really good weather, sent them to
So notice
Nevada.
they build these cute cars. They charge you probably a couple $100 per car, but when you watch the movie, you don't see them, do you?
No, I think by then they'd been sent to all our other clients. I'm sure they're there. You just got to look for them.
But it was an amazing model.
If you remember,
and the reason why they build the scale, I mean, the model so big, is just so these things can actually, you can build your scale of explosions to make it more real. Explosions, you can only descale so much in terms of size.
So this was the custom camera rig that they built for the shot, because we had a really, really tight animatic of what the shot was supposed to look like.
Now this is the bomber point of view.
So Jeff Herron, who is our physical effects supervisor at ILM, came up with this rig that basically a pickup truck could precision motivate the camera on
I guess this
rig.
tape is actually just, I'm here today to show me, look at all the stuff you paid for and you never got to see.
Exactly.
Because it's the first time I'm ever seeing this stuff.
You were busy. I don't know, what were you doing, some commercials or something?
No, I wasn't doing any commercials.
I think you were busy doing post-production on the
How many times
other
did they
3
do
hours.
this?
Once.
One time.
I don't know if you remember, but after seeing that, you said, well, I don't want you to do it again. I want some other shots. So we took those buildings and staged some other angles.
That's quite good. I just love the explosion interacting with us. We dug up some old combat footage of bombs exploding towards B-25s. And it was amazing how close some of these explosions would get to the planes.
Yeah, a lot of fullers, there's a lot of black soot and stuff that had that black smoky image that you really wanted us to get.
So, Eric, you're unemployed right now, I understand.
Well, yeah, it'd be hard for me to get work after this.
Yeah, because we're not going to be working together again. Definitely not.
How much do I owe you?
One thing about ILM, I must say, they have a lot of funny people, and you need that on a movie of this size.
It's too bad they were all busy when you came there.
Anyway, thank you, and I hope some of that was informative.
I learned a little.
Did you? Yeah. All right. Okay, we can work together again, I'm sure. I'm sure we can. We can work something out.
Okay.
But you really are a pain in the ass.